The 2024 U.S. presidential election delivered a seismic shock to the nation. Donald J. Trump, defying poll predictions and pundit pronouncements, secured a second term in the White House. His victory, met with cheers from his supporters and disbelief from his detractors, painted a stark picture of a nation deeply divided along political, social, and ideological lines. Trump's victory, while unexpected by many, was not a result of chance. It was the culmination of a carefully crafted campaign strategy that tapped into the anxieties and aspirations of a significant portion of the American electorate. His message, laser-focused on economic nationalism, immigration control, and a return to traditional values, resonated with voters who felt left behind by the political establishment and disillusioned by the pace of social change. The electoral map told a compelling story of its own. Trump's support remained strong in rural areas and small towns, particularly in the industrial Midwest, where his promises to revive American manufacturing hit home. His appeal transcended traditional party lines, attracting disaffected Democrats and independent voters who saw in him a champion for their concerns. This election, much like the one that preceded it, was about more than just policy differences. It was a referendum on the direction of the nation, a battle for the soul of America. Trump's victory, a testament to the enduring power of populism, signaled a rejection of the status quo and a yearning for a return to a perceived era of American greatness. The 2024 election was not just a political event, it was a cultural moment. It sparked conversations and debates across the nation, from small-town diners to urban coffee shops. Trump's message of "Make America Great Again" resonated deeply, echoing through the Heartland and beyond. His rallies drew massive crowds, showcasing the fervent support that propelled him back into the Oval Office. As the nation moves forward, the impact of Trump's return will be felt for years to come. The 2024 election has set the stage for a new chapter in American history, one that will be defined by the enduring influence of Trump's presidency. Agenda, a defender of traditional American values. Donald Trump's 2024 campaign was a masterclass in grassroots mobilization and targeted messaging. Understanding the pulse of his base, he crafted a campaign strategy that tapped into their anxieties, fueled their passions, and ultimately drove them to the polls in record numbers. Central to his strategy was the revival of his signature campaign rallies. These rallies, held in arenas and fairgrounds across the country, became more than just political events. They were cultural gatherings, opportunities for his supporters to come together, revel in their shared identity, and reaffirm their belief in the Trump movement. Trump's rallies were carefully orchestrated spectacles, designed to energize his base and project an image of strength, defiance, and unwavering confidence. His speeches, laden with populist rhetoric and fiery attacks on his opponents, tapped into the anger and frustration felt by many of his supporters, offering them a channel for their grievances and a sense of cathartic release. Beyond the rallies, Trump's campaign effectively utilized social media to bypass traditional media outlets and communicate directly with voters. His tweets, often provocative and inflammatory, dominated the news cycle and kept him front and center in the national conversation. This direct line of communication allowed him to control his message, circumvent fact-checking, and mobilize his supporters with remarkable effectiveness. Section 4, America. First, 2.0, Policy Predictions and Global Implications. Donald Trump's return to the White House ushers in an era of uncertainty on both the domestic and global fronts. His America First agenda, a cornerstone of his first term, is expected to continue shaping his policy decisions, potentially leading to significant shifts in American foreign policy, trade relations, and global engagement. On the domestic front, Trump is expected to prioritize policies that resonate with his base, including further restrictions on immigration, deregulation of industries, and tax cuts aimed at stimulating economic growth. His appointments to key cabinet positions and judicial vacancies will likely reflect his conservative ideology, potentially impacting social issues such as abortion, gun control, and LGBTQ+ rights. In the realm of foreign policy, Trump's unpredictable nature and disdain for multilateralism have left the international community on edge. His relationships with traditional allies are strained, while his approach to adversaries like China and Russia remains unpredictable. The potential for increased trade tensions, military interventions, and diplomatic standoffs looms large, casting a shadow over the global order. The world watches with bated breath as Trump embarks on his second term. His decisions, often made impulsively and with little regard for precedent or protocol, have the potential to reshape the global landscape in profound and unpredictable ways. The stakes are high, the consequences uncertain, and the future remains unwritten. As the world braces for what comes next, one thing is clear. The impact of Trump's policies will be felt far and wide, influencing the course of history for years to come. Trump's second term could redefine America's role on the world stage, with allies and adversaries alike adjusting their strategies in response. Domestically, the focus on economic growth through deregulation and tax cuts may lead to short-term gains, but the long-term effects remain to be seen. Social policies will likely see a conservative shift, with potential rollbacks on progressive gains made in recent years. The international community remains cautious, watching closely as Trump's policies unfold and their global implications become clearer. The next 4 years promise to be a period of significant change, with Trump's leadership style continuing to challenge norms and expectations. As America swings right, the world holds its breath, anticipating the ripple effects of Trump's bold and often controversial decisions. The future is uncertain, but one thing is for sure. Trump's second term will leave an indelible mark on both the nation and the world. Section 5. The Trump Legacy, a Nation Transformed. Donald Trump's presidency, a tumultuous and polarizing chapter in American history, has left an indelible mark on the nation's political landscape and social fabric. His impact, felt across institutions, norms, and values, has fundamentally transformed the way America views itself and its place in the world. One of the most enduring legacies of the Trump era will be the deepening of political polarization. His rhetoric, often divisive and inflammatory, has exacerbated existing societal cleavages, pitting Americans against each other along ideological, racial, and socioeconomic lines. The erosion of trust in institutions, the media, and even democratic processes themselves poses a significant challenge to the future of American democracy. Trump's presidency has also ushered in an era of political tribalism, where loyalty to party and ideology trumps facts, reason, and even basic human decency. The rise of alternative facts, misinformation, and outright propaganda has created a toxic information ecosystem, making it increasingly difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue and find common ground. Despite the turmoil and division that have come to define the Trump era, his presidency has also ignited a passion for political engagement not seen in generations. From the Women's March to the Black Lives Matter protests, Americans on both sides of the political spectrum have taken to the streets, demanding to be heard and fighting for their vision of a more just and equitable society.